Hey, what's up guys? Diplex here again. Welcome back to Gates of Hell. I hope you guys have had a good week so far. I hope you guys enjoyed the previous two Gates of Hell battles here on the channel. They have been increasingly more intense, and today's battle is no exception. We are even adding air units, and it's going to be quite exciting. So you might have noticed that there's not much going on right now, but that is because this is a meeting engagement. Both armies will be clashing here in the center. The Soviets do have a few fortified positions since they're defending. This is set during the summer of 1942, so we are going to be enjoying some more mid-war tanks, not just Panzer IIIs and early war Soviet armor. So this is definitely going to be a bit more explosive, one could say. So since this is a late summer of 1942, the Tiger E is making an appearance. We're going to have KV-2s, a variety of T-34s, a variety of Panzer IVs, and some late Panzer III models that have been refitted with some Panzer IV gear, one could say. I believe there's a few late war Panzer IIIs or mid-war Panzer IIIs that they basically refitted with more advanced technology and more not modern, that would be weird to say, but more recent features that they use on Panzer IVs. So they just took the chassis of the Panzer III and changed some armaments and whatnot. I think that's a good idea to just reinvest in the old armory that you've got to not make it go obsolete. Anyway, guys, I could spend hours talking about that, despite having little to no knowledge about refitting tanks. But I'm sure you guys do, so continue that discussion down in the comment section below. In fact, question of the day: what is your favorite refitted and upgraded tank of all time? It can be from any era, from any war, from any nation, and it can be refitted in any way possible. I think some of the cool ones are, I don't know any on the top of my head, but I've seen plenty of Wikipedia articles of tanks from the 60s being used today with a bunch of modern equipment on them. But anyway, guys, that's not the point. This is, as I said, late summer 1942. For those of you who know your Eastern Front, we are currently before the Battle of Stalingrad, somewhere in the north of the Caucasus region. Not quite near the mountains. We are in far eastern Ukraine. Some could say it's even past Ukraine, but this was all part of the Soviet Union at the time, of course. We're near the Maikop fields and whatnot, so that is what I believe this map was actually made to look like, if I can recall the name of this map and a few articles I've read of some battles in that Maikop area. So, yeah, this battle definitely has the most historical accuracy or backdrop, one could say, if you guys care. So we're gonna kind of like experiment with the game and make a bunch of cool battles over the coming weeks, and then I'm gonna start recreating some super historical ones, because this game is going to excel in that. I think I've said everything I want to say. Oh yes, by the way, in the previous video I said it was like spring. Of course, the war began in June. For some reason I thought it was April. I must have mixed it up with the German invasion of Norway, which happened, I believe, like a year earlier, of course, because my dad is born on that exact day of the German invasion of Norway, April 6th, isn't it? What if it's 9? I mean, I get those mixed up. Oh my god! Anyway, guys, avoiding the uproar in the comment section. One last thing: when I say BTR, I do not speak of modern Russian BTR 90s and whatnot. BTR is basically APC, but in Russian. BTR is Armored Personnel Carrier, pretty much, in Russian. That is why it's called BTR. It's not, I'm not referencing to BTRs of the Cold War. Guys, please keep that in mind, of course. In this game, in all GEM engine games, it's like a tradition. Despite the most of the categories being in English, it is a tradition to maintain BTR as the group name of all half-tracks, of all light infantry vehicles, or infantry fighting vehicles rather, and armored personnel carriers and whatnot. Okay, having that said, we're approaching the 5-minute mark, which is sort of that sacred battle starting point. So without further ado, I think it's about time we click that start button and enjoy ourselves a good battle. you are going to see. You hear those airplanes overhead? They're loud as hell. Here they come. Oh! Oh! One man was completely blown off that AA gun. AA is going to desperately try and engage. Oh, it's going to hit one of the fuel barrels in front. Fortunately for them, though, it's not going to kill anyone. And the battle has begun. The first wave of armor has arrived. If you notice that overlay showing at times when I move the mouse towards the top of the screen, it's because I'm having trouble with Bandicam. I've used it for 5 years, but I'm contemplating changing said software because it's not working to record the game source. I have to record my screen. How inconvenient. Anyway. Right. So the positions are still holding. AA gun is opening up at some of the more mid-war Panzer IIIs. That is the Panzer IIIL variant, which was the last one they made, I do believe. We've got some German infantry being unloaded here by half-track. And a few Panzer IVs. Engaging some Soviet T-34s. Remember, this is just the first wave. Oh, it's really cool, though. Hear that distant gunshots. Oh! But so far, quite steady. Not too chaotic. Most action is happening at range. But it is indeed beautiful to watch and hear. T-34 is going to hastily speed across the road, but suffer from a side shot by this. Oh, and a second one to finish it off. We've got a few burning panzers here and there. But this is just the beginning stage of this battle, as the Germans try and tackle the defenders here by the 2 checkpoints. This one's completely knocked out. We're going to have a bit of an implosion over here happening. I think there's a few survivors here, but it's not much to write home about. More armor is arriving now, as more Soviet troops are arriving to the front. That, I do believe, is a KV-1 showing up as well. Oh! The German side of things, more armor has arrived. More infantry as well is being unloaded. The Soviets, one thing you'll notice... Ooh, is that a Bison? Indeed it is. What you'll notice is that the German infantry is being brought in with half-tracks, and the Soviets are bringing in their infantry all on each tank. Like, every single tank has mounted infantry. I think that's just 2 different types of characteristics for the 2 sides. The Soviets were not very keen on using armored personnel carriers at troop transports early on. When Lend-Lease came into effect later on, the Soviets received a bunch of US-made half-tracks and whatnot, so that's... I wouldn't call it common to my knowledge, but then again, once again, I'm not going to voice myself on such a niche topic of World War II that I have little to no knowledge about. It would be interesting to know the numbers behind the Lend-Lease. Oh, big explosions back there. But once again, this is really... It's hard for me to commentate and decide on who's winning right now. Both sides are frantically facing off in this head-to-head engagement between armor and infantry. Infantry's remaining on this side of the road so far, back in cover, and the German infantry is starting to advance. They're staying low. They're moving out with half-track and armored cover, but they're staying low. We're gonna see some... Ooh, there we go. Some MP40s are going off right now. It's very nice to see, though. Another cook-off here in the center. Another wave is arriving. Oh, this is so cool. And here is the infamous Tiger. Pay attention to that dismount animation. I think it's really nice that they've really worked on animations for all vehicles. Oh, that must have been a killing blow. Oh, another airstrike on the road as another airplane does a flyby. Oof. Not a lot of infantry on the road, unfortunately. Would have been nice to see a whole array of Soviet infantry here, but that must have killed a few at least. Oh, but the Soviets are not stopping. Not for a second. Look at the amount of T-34s now in this KV-2, this beast of a machine moving through now. And here's another time to just enjoy that distant gun. Oh, beautiful explosion. Nice, tall smoke pillar. Enjoy those distant gun sounds. Where can I get like a good overview of this chaos? Let's see what the Tiger's up to. I think the Germans are advancing on the left flank, but there's a lot of Soviet armor on the opposite side. This one's had its turret busted completely. Someone's gonna ram into this partially disabled KV-1. Oh, another cook-off here in the center. Tiger's moving up into the main road. Infantry following suit. Lots of artillery landing here nearby as well. Oh. He was shot to pieces. I think that KV-1 is going to meet its maker here in this 1v1. Oh, it's been firing at infantry. It's going to calibrate its... Oh, huge expulsion. It's going to calibrate its gun. Wait, could this be a blunder by the Tiger? Has it forgot the fact that it hasn't actually destroyed it? Oh! If that hits with the 152 head on, I think it could be bye-bye for the Tiger. Oh. Alas, it won't happen. This is a nice little view, isn't it? Sorry if I move around too much. Sometimes I forget I'm providing content to spectators. Sometimes I get lost in the action myself that I enjoy so much. The Soviets do have a lot of AT infantry with Molotov cocktails and a variety of grenades, so I'm surprised not seeing them use them. In fact, I'd bet that guy was an AT soldier with a helmet there. Oh. I just like hearing the distant action. Hear all those like small arms fire as well. All that small arms fire. Wow, sorry. Well, I hope you've seen plenty enough of explosions in today's video to kind of just take a break for a second from all the constant action while we move around and have a look. Oh, that was awesome! That's a Gewehr 41. Very nice to see. And back here, the fighting is still raging on, potentially with Soviet armor remaining. But I will tell you this: I believe the only German armor currently active are the 2 or 3 tanks here in the center. The 2 Tiger E's seems to be functional, and there's about 2 other Panzers, maybe 4. But the Soviets did deploy a lot more tanks today. And they had a bunch of AT cannons early on. I will have to admit the fact that this one was knocked out by the aircraft. That aerial strike, that airstrike, is very inaccurate compared to a lot of other methods of destruction. So I will state that That was lucky for the Germans that they knocked it out. Otherwise, that could have caused plenty of damage to the German armor. Now the Soviets are in a bit of a retreat. Ho, ho, ho. Well, the Tigers are going to mop it up with the infantry. Wow. Half-tracks accompanying the infantry. Tigers showing up in the distance. Isn't this quite beautiful? All right, guys. Thank you. Oh, was that a team kill? I'm just gonna get back up. Let's have a look at casualties, right? We're gonna mark the Soviets in red, and no, sorry, we'll mark the Soviets in red and the Germans in yellow. And I have to admit, very few infantry casualties on behalf of the Germans. This was one of those steamroll victories that the Germans, I mean, this is pre-Stalingrad, guys. This isn't to be, this shouldn't come as a shock. But yeah, as I thought, we are looking at about a total of 5 tanks, 6 then I suppose, remaining for the Germans today. Out of the 25 or so they did deploy. Of course, many are being repaired as we hear several of those little bling bling. So you're going to see more runoff now. I'm sure plenty of these Soviet tanks could be repaired as well. The Soviets brought in over 30 tanks today, with a lot more infantry, which is why you're seeing a lot more infantry casualties. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's battle, and I'll see you guys again. Ciao.